From Capitol Hill in Washington for TvAbraham, I'm Alicia Powell. This is Inside the Capitol. The Senate is solemn as lawmakers pay tribute to their longtime colleague, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, a tireless voice for American strength abroad for more than 2 decades in the Senate, died at age 71. Graham had just returned from Kyiv, where he met with President Zelensky and spoke by phone with President Trump about Iran's strikes and Russia's sanctions.
The number of senators who have really focused on the role of America in the world has sort of declined over time. And while I could not disagree more strongly with Lindsey on, for example, his cheerleading of the Iran war, over time, Lindsey has always paid a lot of attention to the role of America in the world, as fewer and fewer senators have. And I think more senators should make that a key issue. And the fact that Lindsey did was a positive. And the Senate will miss that.
You know, Lindsey's irreplaceable. He dedicated his life to this country. He gave his life for this country. I mean, all the arduous travel, he confided in me that it was taking a toll on him physically and in his personal life. So the reason he was so respected, was so influential, is because of all the time, all the travel he put in to become respected, become influential. So he's going to be sorely missed.
It felt that something was missing, and I said as much to the assembled people. Not having Lindsey in the room really takes away from the quality of the work that we're doing. He was a great, gifted and great friend of mine. He sat next to me for 4 years, and we worked together to approve hundreds of judges on a bipartisan basis. He was part of the Gang of 8 on immigration. I was happy to be part of that as well. We did immigration reform and passed it in the Senate, which no one believed we could achieve. You can go through a long list. I will just tell you, he was an extraordinary senator and did a great job for his state. We disagreed on a lot of issues, but we agreed on many more. We attended an event at the ambassador's residence. My last conversation with him was, is there anything you can do with this White House when it comes to the DREAM Act? And he said, let me try. And I think he would have tried. I've been in the Senate for many years, and there are very few people who qualify as the kind of peacemakers and builders that Lindsey Graham did. When she was 13 years old, her parents died, and Lindsey was 21 at the time, 22. He stepped in as her legal guardian. She was an incredible, important part of his life, and I think it's fitting that she is going to finish this term for him in the Senate. And Lindsey, of course, had his views on foreign policy and military expenditure, and I disagreed with many of them, but I disagreed with many more. I agreed with more than I disagreed.
Lindsey was a dear friend, and I'm just going to miss him. You know, we're human, so I'm still, in this part denial. His desk is 10 foot from my desk on the floor, so it was just a shocker when I still look over there and see they have a black drape over his desk and some beautiful flowers, and it's all moving really quickly now. His sister is sworn in, and grateful for her as well. But he was just so plain-spoken. He was genuine. He was authentic. Had a certain emotional intensity to him, but just one of my best friends. And I say he's one of my best friends. There's probably 98 other senators up here who think they're his best friend as well. And that's because he had this gift of hospitality, of welcoming people. So we'll just all dearly miss my good friend from South Carolina.
I spoke to Senator Graham over the weekend, literally hours before his passing. And I will say I have never heard him so exultant, because we received word that the White House would support our sanctions bill after painstaking and sometimes painful, difficult bipartisan negotiation with the trade representative, the White House, the Treasury Department. Senator Graham was exultant because he sensed we've reached a pivotal point. Ukraine is turning the tide. We're meeting the moment with scorching sanctions legislation that will helped to stop the flow of revenue to Putin's war machine from purchase of Russian oil and gas. And he was ecstatic about that progress. He sounded absolutely fine. In fact, better than fine. He sounded really exuberant. And I've been with Senator Graham, talked to him, I don't know how many countless times about Ukraine. And there were times when he sounded discouraged and down, but my last conversation was one of celebration. I'm hoping that all of us can try to fill those shoes together and really keep faith with the dedication he showed to the cause of freedom in Ukraine. It will be a very emotional time for us. I can't believe that I'm going to be announcing this bill today without him. But in a sense, he will be with us because his spirit, his really soaring dedication to the cause of freedom in Ukraine, because it is in our national interest, because we need to stop Putin, will be with all of us. And I think we can carry the day. We have a very strong coalition, 62, now 63 co-sponsors and counting. And we are gathering strength every day for this coalition with the support of Darlene Graham, who has made some requests about the bill. I'm seriously considering them. In Lindsey's memory, I think the bill ought to be named for Lindsey. And there may be a couple of other changes, but I'm sounding out my colleagues, and I think our priority has to be to aid Ukraine at this critical moment when they are bleeding and dying literally every night under bombardment from the slaughterous Putin missiles and bombs. We owe it to them to help as much as we can, and this Ukraine aid, the sanctions bill, is a critical step forward. I'm very hopeful that we will move forward before the recess. I've come to have a lot of affection and admiration for Darlene Graham. She's a really strong, courageous woman, and I'd be proud to partner with her. I don't want to speak for her, but in the memory of her brother, she is all in, I believe, on this bill, and that will make all the difference in the world.
And the only way to know where everybody stands is to vote. I'm ready to take the vote, but we better hurry up. We better hurry up. I feel the same way about the Graham sanctions bill. We've got Russia down, and we're choking it. And this sanction bill would really hurt people. And I don't understand why we haven't voted by now. We have the votes. I can tell you, we have the votes. And where I come from, when you have the votes, you take them, and I don't understand that part either.
And you've spoken because you're concerned about. Nobody will replace Lindsey Graham.
These tributes and answers reveal what Graham's absence truly means for the Senate and for America's place in the world. Alicia Powell in Washington for TvAbraham. Thank you for watching Inside the Capitol.